Today on the channel, we got two of the most feared wrestlers of the 80s in Dr. Death, Steve Williams, and the Barbarian from Epic Toys.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Epic Toys Retro Wrestling unboxing and review. And today on the channel, we got two I'm extremely excited for in the Barbarian and Dr. Death, Steve Williams. But for all your Epic Toy needs, figure collections. That's where I picked mine up from. Used code Kyle to save 10% as well. Got to get a deal out there. And man, oh man, like I said, I'm excited for these two. Barbarian, an all-time favorite back in the day, especially the Powers of Pain days. And we'll do some comparisons later in this video for the Barbarian. And then, of course, Dr. Death, Steve Williams, an absolute favorite of mine. Hard-hitting style. I didn't understand it as a little kid, but I knew I liked it. Then many years later, really grew to love it with Dr. Death, especially his time over there in Japan. All Japan Pro Wrestling back in the 90s was another level, and Dr. Death was a huge part of that. Then going back watching his UWF stuff, even some of his WCW stuff along the way. Dr. Death, an absolute favorite of mine. But so I can't wait to dive into both of these. And of course, we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. We're going to start off with old Dr. Death, the good doctor here, the Doctor of Death, Steve Williams here. Looking good, looking like a wild man over there without his whole robe and stuff on. I did get to meet Dr. Death very briefly once upon a time at the Wrestling Hall of Fame. He had lost his voice, had one of those voice things like Kane used to use back in the day. But man, oh man, did Dr. Death, I don't know if he changed my life, but man, I remember watching those Japan matches. And still to this day, my absolute favorite finishing move is the backdrop driver that Dr. Death used to lay on people. I remember just thinking he was like breaking everybody's neck immediately. I mean, it was such an impactful move, just absolutely amazing. Love those matches, love that hard-hitting style he was doing. Really unfortunate what happened with the WWF, and it really tarnished his career and kind of ended his career for the most part with the Brawl for All and all that. But man, coming up before that, Dr. Death was the real deal, that is for sure. It looks very good here. This is how I remember him. Reminds me a lot of the classic Superstars figure once upon a time. Would love to have a modern take on that classic Superstars. Hopefully one of these days that does happen. And of course, we all remember his Bone Cruncher back in the day. Quite the peg warmer. A repainted Mark Henry figure of all things. But man, oh man, this could be right up there with my favorite Dr. Death figure of all time by the looks of things here. Hasbro style packaging. Got his autograph down here as well. The tradition continues. Dr. Death, Steve Williams. On the back, Dr. Death laying that backdrop driver right there. I'm here for it. I love it. Cross-sell here, unboxing them all on the channel. You got the little file card. Let's see what it says about the good doctor, Dr. Death, Steve Williams. Height, 6'1", 285 pounds, from Norman, Oklahoma. Beautiful this time of year. Watch out for the tornadoes. One of the toughest men to ever lace up a pair of wrestling boots, Williams dominated North America and Japan for decades. A feared and violent man who would offer a brawl for all. I see what you did there, Epic Toys. I see what you did there. But man, oh man, do I like the looks of this one. They got him backdrop driver to the Barbarian here is what's going on. Very cool, though. Very cool packaging. Slips right out. I love that a whole lot. Slip it out, off to the side. See you later. Goodbye. Beautiful packaging. I got to save it, of course. I don't save all my packaging, but some of the stuff I just got to do it. And this Dr. Death looking fierce out of here. Straight off the bat, you do got the robe going on. The white and red attack here. Looking like a Boomer Sooner if I ever saw one. Got the hood up over the top. Just looking very good. Very, very nice. Very nice quality on this as well. Sometimes I've mentioned it before with retro figures. When you get soft goods on retros, they look baggy. It makes them look a little strange. This one really works for Dr. Death. It's just the perfect tightness for him. He wore that pretty loose, kind of like a boxer. Really do like the looks of that. Now, it does tie in the back, and I absolutely hate that because I can never tie it back how I want to. I wish it was just a simple strap with some Velcro. I wish that's what it was. Unfortunately, it's all tied up there, so we're going to have to untie that, of course, for the glamour shots. Dr. Death looks just like him in the Hair department, head department, face department, mean mugging with those teeth showing, 2 eyes, 2 ears, a nose, and a mouth, those ears peeking through. Got that classic Dr. Death hair as well, the bangs going on, of course. Big barrel-chested body going on. You got the red trunks on him as well. Red and white knee pads. You got the Dr. Death boots with the flames on the bottom, looking really cool there. You got the skull there with the death on the side. Absolutely a game changer. Love, love, love the looks of this Dr. Death figure. 2 fists of fury on Dr. Death. Of course, arms all the way around. Head side to side. Waist back and forth. That's it as far as articulation does go. But man, is this ever Dr. Death. This is Dr. Death, and very happy to get a retro Dr. Death because I just don't see us getting any more Dr. Death retro figures in the future. So I am very happy we got this one here. And I think Epic Toys did knock it out of the park. Kudos to them, as this is, in my brain, what I think of with one Dr. Death, Steve Williams. I probably prefer him in the black trunks there, but that's really nitpicking. But the red is probably the most classic, the red and white for him here. So very, very cool. I just hope one of these other retro companies, or preferably Mattel, they can get us a figure in the line. We'll see what happens in the future. But Dr. Death doing all of his Dr. Death things. But now we got to turn our attention over to one Barbarian. Now, for me, when I think of the Barbarian, I always go to the Powers of Pain. Some people go to the Faces of Fear. I get that as well, and all points in between. But a brief but iconic time period was this one, where he was like straight out of the jungle, or I guess not the jungle, the woods. He was a wild man from the woods is what it looked like. Got the pelts going on. He got the antlers on his head. I don't know what was going on there, but Bobby Heenan was his manager. I'll never forget that. It was a crazy time when the Powers of Pain went their own way. Warlord went off with Slick and Barbarian went off with Bobby Heenan. It was a wild time for sure. But very cool packaging design here. Barbarian, another guy we need some elite style figures from in the future. We did get this version of the Jakks Class Superstars, but man, it was dialed back with no real accessories. A bit disappointing on that one for sure, but looking very good in the package design here. On the back, he's squaring off with Dr. Death. Those guys got a Hoss feud going on is what's going on there. File card down below, cross sell once again. Let's see what it says about our friend, the Barbarian. Height 6'2", weight 300 pounds, origin parts unknown. Beautiful this time of year. We did learn parts unknown is actually not far from my house, this very location I'm in right now. You go down my street about 3 blocks, you take a left. You got to hang a left because it's a cul-de-sac, but it does shoot out to a bike path. You hop in that bike path, you get down there, you take a corner. There's a tunnel that bike path goes under, that goes under the street. You go in there and you see the woods, and there's a little bit of a creek there off to the side. You take a right where that creek is. You go down around the corner, and then you go down into the water. Now, it's about 2 inches, 4 inches of water probably right there. Not much, but enough to get your feet wet, so be wary of that. You go there, you hug that, you hug the gravel around there, and then you'll see a pair of steps, and the steps are right there, just 2 steps right there, and you crawl down those steps, and then you're there. You're in parts unknown, and I haven't went past there to see what all the fuss is about, but that is the start, and it says parts unknown right on the top there. So if you're ever in my neighborhood, I'll take you. So there you go. But looking good here, parts unknown. And then Ric Flair and Barry Windham's the other one in this set. Of course, cross-sell. We unbox those on the channel. Check out that video in case you missed it. But now we got the Barbarian out of the package. Uh-oh. We got to get all of it out of the package. I almost forgot his antlers. We don't want to forget that, of course. Off to the side. See you later. Goodbye. And let's dive into the Barbarian here. How about we'll start with those antlers. Why not? Got the headdress here. Got the skull. You got the antlers over the top. Looking good, looking like a crazy man from the woods is what it looks like from me. And then, of course, over here you got the pelt. Love the soft, good fur. Real fur right here, I think. I don't know. It might be. But I do like the looks of that. It's got the kind of rubber bands, the elastic bands there holding it in. Very, very nice. Screams Barbarian in the head sculpt all day long. Got that big bushy beard. You got the long hair there. Looks like the Barbarian. Maybe a little bit tanner than the Barbarian, maybe. Close enough to be dangerous, though, I will say. 2 fists of Barbarian Fury. You got the black wrist tape going on there. Is looking nice. And apparently he took a turn through Eternia on his way from parts unknown, as he does got a hairy loincloth there that would make He-Man blush for sure. And he does got the parts unknown Intercontinental title belt there, which is a pretty cool belt. Of course, the Ultimate Warrior held that once upon a time. Barbarian holding it down right now, looking good with that belt. I will say the seam there at the waist is not extremely tight. You can see a little bit of gappage there. Your mileage may vary, but it isn't as tight and sealed as it needs to be. But it's just, you got to look at it and you can catch it. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. But that is mine, at least there. You do got the hairy boots down here below, looking very nice as well. Knee pads going on, everything else. Nothing on the bottom of the feet for either of these guys. No trademarks, anything like that. No hole in the foot for a peg or anything either. It is what it is. Good posing on this guy right here, too. I talked about the fist, but you got the arms up and down here for all kinds of moves. And you got this arm over here. Arms go all the way around, waist back and forth, a little bit of side to side on the head. And, of course, the pelt, the cape. I guess it's a cape after all, a fur cape. Oh, love a good fur cape. It is removable. You do got a little skull artwork on the back of it as well. But very, very cool. Let's see how easy this fits on his head. Oh, yeah, that fits pretty good. That fits good. A little bit loose, maybe, or maybe it needs to be just a little, looser, and then it would fit on a little bit better. You could maybe heat that up to get it on, but it's a little loose on his head. Just a little loose. And it's not going to stay on. Oh, well, no, there you go. So, like I said, a little bit loose, but it'll stay on. I think it gets the job done. Use a little pressure, maybe get it down a little bit more. But looking very good on the Barbarian. Very cool. Yeah, I wish that was a little tighter. I don't know. I might have to play around with it, maybe heat it up or line it. I don't know. It's just a little looser than I would like it to be, but it is what it is. You can't fight City Hall sometimes. So maybe some quality issues with our Barbarian. Yours may be that way, may not be that way. Dr. Death, absolutely perfect. That's for sure, though. Love Dr. Death, but I love Barbarian too, of course. And of course, I did get his manager, the Bobby the Brain Heenan, of course, from Epic Toys as well, strangely enough here. Nice to see that there. In the line if you want to be. And then we're not done. Of course, remember when the Warlord was at the Powers of Pain, they went their own way and this was their gimmick. So we got the old Hasbro Warlord. Cool to see that there. And then we're not done. Of course, the Powers of Pain, you got to have it. Once again, Epic Toys coming through with Warlord and Barbarian. Could we get an Epic Toys version of this Warlord in the future? It'd be interesting to see if that could happen there. My dad would appreciate it, being his favorite wrestler of all time. That's for sure. Interesting how the old Barbarian is a little bit taller than the new Barbarian too. So just notice that looking at him right here. But all in all, these are very nice retro figures. Some of the best retro figures in the game do come from Epic Toys. Very good quality here. A few things every once in a while, but very good quality, very good character selection so far as well. Giving us a lot of stuff we wouldn't get without them. So we do appreciate that for sure. So Epic Toys Barbarian, and of course, Dr. Death Steve Williams. Like I said, I got these at Figure Collections. I think they're still in stock. Use code Kyle, save yourself 10%. But what's your guys' thoughts on Barbarian? And of course, one Dr. Death Steve Williams. Pick up, pass, long game, no game, not so sure game, out of the retro game. Let me know in the comments down below. And of course, you made it this far. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bells. We got videos every single day and then some. We got even more content for you, of course, over there on Patreon. Patreon, the best way to support this YouTube channel and all the content it does bring. Plenty of stuff to keep you busy. You can also check out YouTube channel memberships if you want. Check out my books, The Complete Guide to the Jakks Class Superstars series and The Complete Guide to the ECW Original San Francisco Toymaker series. Both available on Barnes & Noble and Amazon as we speak. Sir Paul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and The Kyle Peterson Show, which is my podcast each and every week. It is The Kyle Peterson Show. Every single Tuesday, wherever podcasts are found, with videocast on YouTube. So for the Barbarian and Dr. Death Steve Williams, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.
Well, are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?